Congratulations! You've taken your last exam, written your last essay, and have finally taken out your last student loan. It probably feels great to be graduated from college, but now that you're done celebrating, you might start having questions about what to do with your student loans. But never fear, in today's video, I'll talk about exactly what you need to get started repaying your student loans after graduation. Stay tuned. First, let's start by talking about what exactly you can expect to have happen with your student loans right after you graduate. There are a couple different types of student loans, federal loans and private loans, and they could be treated differently. Let's start by talking about how federal student loans are treated. Typically, federal student loans have a 6-month grace period. What that means is you don't have to make any payments on your student loans for 6 months. If you haven't found work yet, this grace period is really designed for you so that you don't have to worry about your loans while you're trying to find a job. But if you're already working, you may want to start making payments if you can afford to. One thing to keep in mind is if you're going to pursue loan forgiveness, like public service loan forgiveness or income-driven loan forgiveness, you need to make sure to consolidate your loans to get them out of that grace period. If you start making payments during that grace period, they actually won't count toward the number that are required. Not all lenders are going to handle private student loans the same. Some lenders will offer a 6-month grace period, but others won't. So it's important that you contact your lender to find out exactly when you need to start repaying those loans. Let's talk about the first step you need to take with your student loans after graduation. The first thing you need to do is take an honest look at your student loans. Student loans invoke fear of the unknown like nothing else I've ever seen. For a lot of borrowers, it's this huge amount, it's kind of vague exactly what you're supposed to do, and it carries a lot of shame with it. I'm here to tell you to shake all that shame and take a look. You need to look the amount of debt you have straight in the eye and know exactly what you owe. And you need to look at the different types of loans that you have so you can make good decisions moving forward. The only way to make decisions that are right for you is to start by knowing what you actually are dealing with. Not sure exactly where to start? Look in the links below and check out Repayable's roadmap to understanding your student loans. That's a post that has a lot of helpful links and description of exactly where to find information and what you should be looking for. After you're done with this, proceed on to the next step. Your next step is to choose your repayment plan. Now, repayment plans are only for federal student loans. Private student loans work like a mortgage or a car loan where there's a certain amount of time you have to repay it and they put you on a fixed monthly payment. But federal student loans have a lot of flexibility. A quick overview, in general, income-driven repayment plans are best for those who have low income and can't afford a higher monthly payment, or those who are seeking loan forgiveness under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program or Income-Driven Loan Forgiveness Program. There are 4 different income-driven plans: Payee, Repayee, IBR, and ICR. The biggest downside to these plans is that if you have a significantly lower monthly payment, you're gonna pay a lot more interest and it's gonna take longer to pay off the loans. The other thing is, depending on your debt and what that monthly payment is, you may not actually have a high enough monthly payment to keep up with the interest that accrues. Those are all things to think about as you're looking at these plans. If your goal is to repay your debt quickly, the 10-year standard plan is going to be your best bet in terms of a federal repayment plan. It's going to have the highest monthly payment, but the shortest repayment term, which means you're going to pay the least amount of interest on your loans. The biggest drawback to this plan is that the monthly payment may be too high for some borrowers to afford. When it comes to the graduated or extended repayment plan, I tend not to recommend really either one of these plans. Under the graduated plan, your payments increase every 2 years, and the last payments can end up being up to 3 times higher than the first payments. And a lot of times you don't really make any progress on the principal balance of your loan the first 2 years. So this plan just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You're going to pay more interest and in the end have a higher monthly payment than you would under like the 10-year standard plan. The extended plan is a plan that stretches out the duration of your payment. And the main reason I don't recommend this plan is because an income-driven plan is often a better way to get a lower monthly payment, and it still potentially qualifies for loan forgiveness, whereas under the extended plan, you can't qualify for PSLF or income-driven loan forgiveness. After you've thought about repayment plans, you may want to consider loan forgiveness. Now, loan forgiveness isn't something everybody is going to be eligible for or want to pursue. So this could be just a quick glance at the available programs and then deciding that it's not right for you. Here's a quick overview of the 3 largest federal programs. One is Public Service Loan Forgiveness, or PSLF. Under this plan, the remaining balance of student loan debt is forgiven tax-free after 120 months of eligible payments on eligible loans while working for an eligible nonprofit, government, or tribal employer. Number 2 is teacher loan forgiveness. Under this plan, borrowers get either $5,000 or $17,500 of undergraduate student loan debt forgiven tax-free after 5 consecutive years of teaching in a qualifying low-income school district. The third plan is income-driven loan forgiveness. This is a plan that's potentially available to all borrowers regardless of where they work. Under this plan, it forgives the remaining amount of student loan debt after 20 to 25 years of income-driven payments. It is important to note that the forgiven amount is taxable as income. If you want to read more about it, I've linked to a post below about the 3 major types of student loan forgiveness. Lastly, you may want to consider refinancing your student loans. With all the podcasts you listen to, I'm sure you've caught an ad or 2 for a refinancing company. You've probably heard their siren song promising to save you thousands of dollars. And refinancing can be a good option for specific borrowers. I'm someone who greatly benefited from refinancing, but the criteria that make refinancing a good choice for some can also make it very detrimental to other types of borrowers. Here are a couple of quick points about refinancing. First of all, it's the only way to lower your interest rates. It's best suited to borrowers with good to excellent credit scores and high income relative to their debt. Refinancing privatizes federal student loans, so this is not a good option for anyone considering any of those 3 federal loan forgiveness programs. Refinancing can be particularly advantageous for anyone with private student loans that have a really high interest rate, because there's really nothing to lose by refinancing. You already have private loans and so don't have access to the federal benefits for those loans. So even being able to lower your interest rate a few % can make a huge difference. If you're considering refinancing at all, I recommend you check out the refinancing strategy guide. I've linked that below. Now I want you to take a moment and congratulate yourself. You've done something amazing and finished your college education. You've mastered exam taking and you're going to master student loan repayment too. I'm all about empowerment with clear, actionable information you can use. Now that you've made it through the starter guide video, you're set to take charge of your debt. If you liked this week's video, please give me a like and hit that subscribe button. There's a new video every other Wednesday. And be sure to check out the different playlists. I have student loan forgiveness playlists, there are general repayment playlists, all with different videos that can be pretty helpful. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!